Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Jason, TCP Super System. I've got one hell of a show for you tonight. After this market crash, I'm telling you what, there's some beautiful opportunities coming to fruition. You're going to see some special things on these charts tonight, especially when it comes to these leverage liquidation zones. I'm going to go through, actually, I'll tell you, I'm going to do XRP first because I know the XRP family has a short attention span. After that, we're going to do Bitcoin, 1inch, Cardano, Aptos, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Doge, Render, Solana, and we'll close out with World Liberty token. We're going to look at all those charts. I'll be brief, but this is going to be, you might want to stick around for this one. Again, the TCP super system, something I found over 2 to 3 years, or built over 2 to 3 years to identify opportunity zones in cryptos and stocks. None of the system signals, interpretations, my trade actions are not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's for informational and educational purposes only. Consult an advisor before making any trades. All right, so as promised, I will start tonight with XRP, and I want to show you something because I think XRP may still have a little ways to go downward. If you look at everything here, it could turn, but I still think we might see 213 to 222 on XRP, and then if it breaks that, the lowest possible thing I would see would be about 150, and then on the upside 323, and that's just based on leverage liquidation zones. Again, you can see really for XRP to take off here, we're going to need that white line up here in these extremes, and then that orange line breaking through the top side of that green zone. So you can see a little bit of ways to go there for XRP. So that's why I think we might see some more downward action there, just to liquidate some of these other positions before these XRP ETFs come out. So I'm going to leave XRP there. Pretty brief and short on XRP. XRP Army, XRP family. I love you. I appreciate you. We all know why we're here. Please like, share, subscribe, and get this content out there so we can inform our community. That's all I can say. I do think you'll find this to be original content. You're not going to get this anywhere else. This system is not publicly available. It's only available to those that I share it with. All right, so let's run through these. Bitcoin, you're going to notice, and we shared this the other day, but we've already identified the opportunity zones on Bitcoin. We got one down here about the 100,000 mark. And then on the upside, we got 128 to 130. And again, on Bitcoin, you can see we're kind of in no man's land here. The hot sensors are all white below the midline, so that is weakness. And again, at the standard deviation methodologies, we're still not all three lines are well below the green opportunity zone. So until that same pattern plays out with the white line up top, you expect weakness here. And again, I think Bitcoin, I think we're going to get the run up at some point, but I think you're going to see rotation out of Bitcoin ETFs into XRP and HBAR and these other ETFs that are coming. So pay attention there. But long-term Bitcoin, probably going to be remarkable. I never sell the Bitcoin, so that's Bitcoin. 1inch, look at this, beautiful. Downturn. We had identified this opportunity zone between 14 and 16 cents. We're literally in the zone at the moment. We got a yellow hot sensor on the medium term on the daily view. That goes yellow, orange, red. So anything in the orange or red, you're probably looking pretty decent. Again, we're all three lines are down here in these lower extremes on the standard deviation methodology. Still need that white line to run up, and that'll most likely be that where we start getting that price action. So this thing could come on down a little bit further. We should start seeing some diamonds pretty soon. That'll be what we're looking for. I do want to show you this though on this one. So again, this is 1inch on the weekly view. Look at those level 3 diamonds. That was back on July 7th. Absolutely crushed the top there. And now look at what we're getting on the downside. Those are level 3 diamonds. And not only that, but on the weekly we are red in the medium term and red on the long term. Long term, I don't value the long term on the weekly as much just because it can stay there for a long time. But you can note, like even before these other times when it was dropping, we hit that red zone multiple times, and after each time we got a little bump, right? So now we're in the red. We're in the yellow on the short term, so yellow, orange, red. So we're getting really close here. So I like the fact we're in our opportunity zone. For me, I'm not telling you to buy, but this is where I would be buying. This is for my own portfolio. So that's 1 inch. Aptos. Again, we've already told you we're in at 451, and I really, and so we're down. It's down at 324 at the moment, and I don't care because I think Aptos is going much, much, much higher. We've already got one opportunity zone identified at 535 to 560, basically. We could probably narrow that some, but basically that previous top. Again, this one, look at this, more level threes. We got a cluster here. So right at it, we got that top at 296. So that's still another, let's just call it almost 10% down. That would be pretty nice. By that time, I would imagine we'll see some yellow or orange or red down here in these hot sensors. Again, the same kind of play at the top. Everything's down here between the green zone and the lower extremes. We need that run up. So I think this is the last probably liquidation event before all these ETFs come. I think that's what we're seeing. And I'll show you some prime examples here in a minute of why I'm telling you that. Arbitrum. See, I'm telling you, look at this. We're entering it at the moment. We've identified the opportunity zone between 25 and 28 cents. We're literally entering it right now on the daily. We're in the yellow on the hot sensor. So we've got a little bit more weakness we can see here. That would be great. We got level threes on the weekly. In the red on the medium term, so we got a little bit more weakness we could go, maybe another week because we're only in the blue, so maybe a little bit of yellow or orange. I'm telling y'all, you're going to see this about 2.5 months from now. You're going to be kicking yourself, but I'm going to be saying I told you so again. I spent a lot of time building this thing, and these are just interpretations of my own system. I'm a crazy guy on the internet. I know nothing. So it's not advice, but it sure as hell does me really well. That's all I can tell you. So we're entering the opportunity zone here on Arbitrum. Again, same play at the top. I'm not going to rehash it every time, but we are starting to see the diamonds that we want to see. Level 3 diamonds are our favorite indicator, especially when it lines up with the hot sensors and the standard deviation methodology. So we're getting there. Avalanche, this is beautiful. Check this out. On the daily, we're literally at the bottom of our identified zone between $18 and $19. So literally in the zone again. We're coming down on the hot sensors again, blue, so yellow, orange, red. We're starting to get diamonds on the weekly. That's a level 2. Again, you can see this one on the weekly is running here. So this could see some weakness here unless this daily just really pops quick. So again, for me, anything at this level or lower, it's just pure opportunity on Avalanche. I think that's a big tokenization play. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Franklin Templeton already tokenized his funds on Avalanche with that platform. So yeah, again, for me in my portfolio, anything here and below is just fantastic. So that's what I'm doing. Dogecoin. Go back and look at my video the other day. There's an expected $60 billion in inflows coming to Dogecoin ETFs. And I don't care what token you are, if there's 60 billion in inflows, it's going to move. And again, look at where we are. Identified opportunity zone, 17.5 to 18.5 cents. We're literally in it. Again, same kind of patterns. We need this to run up on the standard deviation up here. Hot sensors are not quite as weak as the other ones, so maybe a little bit more room. Maybe we can get to the bottom of this zone here at 17.5. That'd be awesome. Again, for Doge and the ETFs, I think I'd want this hot sensor on the short term here, right here on the daily view, to be crossing over the midline, and I want that white line up top, definitely. And I think, for me in those ETFs, I got to front run them. So as soon as I see that white line, I'm off and running. You do what you want, but that is what I'm going to be doing. Let's see what else we got here. Render. Okay, that one we don't have opportunity zones because they don't have leverage data, but I do want to show you something. And this is something we shared the other day. You can see There's been a lot of on-chain activity, shown some significant growth. Again, we're starting to get level 3s on the weekly. That's a positive sign. We're in the red on the short, medium-term hot sensor there. Short-term has a little ways to go, so close. Again, in the orange over here in the long term, yellow. So this one's probably a little bit closer than some of the other ones. So yeah, really anything for me here on render at 224. Anything below this is fantastic for me. I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks. Put your comments in the, or put your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll respond to you. Then we'll look at Solana. Again, you can see the opportunity zones here at 175, 168 to 175. Currently trading at 184, so we're getting close. About another $10, so less than, what's that? Basically 5%. So again, same kind of play on the standard deviation methodology. Yeah, so this one has a little bit more ways to go because you can see that here unless this thing were to cross over and this pump fast, we do have some Solana ETFs out there now, so just got to pay attention here. And we're approaching the 200-day moving average at 180. So yeah, really close here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little spike down, penetrate through that 200-day, and bounce off that opportunity zone for Solana. Again, I think Solana long term is awesome. There's treasury companies coming. There's DATs coming, or treasury companies coming. The ETFs are coming. So, and I think they've actually just signed a deal with Western Union for cross-border, I believe it was. So good stuff there for Solana. And last one for tonight, World Liberty. There's your opportunity zone, 10 cents to 11.5 cents. You can see here the white line. It's actually probably the best of all of the ones we've seen so far, but it's still well below the red zone. We need to be up here in these extremes, otherwise we'll see some weakness. We're close to getting a crossover here. Now this is a relatively new token to TradingView. So again, on the weekly, there's really just not a whole lot of data here. I think, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 or so weeks it's been out. So not a whole lot to really look at here. But again, I can tell you this, and I want to say it is this alts company right here. This is a stock, Alt 5 Sigma Corporation. That one is basically a treasury company for World Liberty Financial, and going to be doing things to help promote that technology and that ecosystem. So again, you can kind of see where what that stock's doing. We're in the red zone here, red zone here, red zone over here on the short term. On the weekly, we got tons of damn level 3 diamonds. So I think a bottom's incoming here for Alt 5 Sigma Corporation, and that's a cheap one. That's only $2.30. So do what you want with that. You can do your own research. Again, I'm not telling you to buy it, but that is one we're looking at as a kind of a stock play for the crypto space. Let's see. Here's another one for Solana. This is Sol Strategies, basically another DAT company or treasury company for Solana. And again, you can kind of see it's had one hell of a downturn. We actually bought a little bit. This is the first trade that we made in our portfolio series we've got going on here, where we started with just $500, just because we can show the common person you can make a lot of money with starting with little or no money. Because a lot of people can find $500, but a lot of people don't have 6 figures or more. So that is our first trade. Clearly we're down on it. We got in at $4.80. It's at 345. So no worries there. I think for me that's a great long-term play, but our goal is to turn that 500 into 100,000. And that'll be nothing but stocks. So that, as trades materialize and we execute trades and get in and out, we'll be sharing that with the community. Again, that's our stock portfolio series that we got going on. That's our first trade. So not a whole lot of action right now as we're waiting on this spike to return. So that's Sol Strategies. Let's see, that may be it for tonight. Let's take a look here. I think did I miss Cardano or did I go over Cardano? If I missed Cardano, sorry. But I do want to show you because we've recently communicated this one as well. 60 cents was our target, and literally it's at 0.6082 in the opportunity zone, basically a triple bottom here. I don't know what else to tell you. This is where, for me, I'm already stacked up on Cardano, but this is a great opportunity zone. I'm just trying to share it for educational purposes. Upper side, we got 90 to 95 cents. So that is Cardano. So we'll see how this one plays out over the next couple weeks. That's it, folks. Jason, TCP Super System. If you have any stocks or crypto you want us to run through the system, please put those in the comments. We'll try to make a video. I can't guarantee it. And then stay tuned tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. You all know what happens on Friday night. Crypto Rapid Fire. Again, we'll be going through every single crypto that we monitor, doing a quick scan to see what's out there. Obviously, you've seen a couple tonight. So again, if you have anything you want me to put on the list to be monitored, all you gotta do is put it in the comments. And if you like technical analysis, like, share, subscribe if you get value from our content. I don't think you'll find it anywhere else. And I sure as hell don't think you'll find anyone being as consistent as we are hitting the zones. So with that, have a great Thursday night and have a great Friday. We'll see you tomorrow night. Appreciate you. Love you. We're out.